Hi there, welcome to the Vagrant tutorial series. Let's kick off with the dependencies. Dependencies are things that Vagrant needs before it can function, and one of those things is VirtualBox. So let's head over to virtualbox.org and head over to the downloads page. Over here we can find the binary files for this specific host. It's just going to download this here for me, and then I can install it when that is ready. So here it is, my downloads folder. In the meanwhile, let's also head over to the Vagrant Up page, vagrantup.com, and then we can download this binary file as well. These two we're going to need, and once they have been installed, we can get started and set up our cloud box. Now notice that at vagrantcloud.com there's a lot of boxes that I can find, and this is really cool. I can update and get boxes. Now I want to get a specific box, Chef Ubuntu, like the one we used in our tutorial, in the longer tutorial that you can also check out. Alright, our download has been finished, and now we can install both. Let's start off with VirtualBox. This is just a matter of verifying the image. And here we go. Our VirtualBox shows up. All we need to do is run the package. It's again going to ask me if I can actually install it here. I should be able to do so. I need to enter my permissions. I need to give my permission. I need to enter my password, sorry. And then it should write this all away. It shouldn't take very long. Once it's installed, you can try and launch it like VirtualBox. I'm just going to open it up here, and here it is. So if you can launch it, it's running basically. Great. Next up is Vagrant. Let's get that installed too. Really easy, exactly the same process. Here it is, Vagrant. Just open up the package. It's going to open up a similar installer. Just continue, enter your password, and install the software. Great, now that this is done, we can head back to Finder and unmount those two images, and we're done for now. Next up is we need to fetch our terminal to set up our first box, and then we are ready to go on and do the longer tutorial that I showed you before. Alright, so we need to fetch a box. Now this is very easy. Just go Vagrant add, a Vagrant box add, and then you can give set up the name of the box you want to set up. So I'm just going to do Vagrant Box at Chef, and this was the Ubuntu 14.04 release. It's just going to ask me which provider I want. Now I'm using VirtualBox, so we're going to enter our choice 1. And it's going to fetch this from the remote cloud. Just give it some time, and it will download the entire image. This could take a few minutes, depending on your internet connection. In my case, it's going to take me about 3 minutes to fetch this, and once it's done, the box will be added to my set of Vagrant boxes. And this box I can then deploy wherever I want on my file system, and basically like I showed you, or like I show you in the longer video. So if you haven't checked that out, please do so. That video starts with the assumption that you have Vagrant and VirtualBox installed, and that you have the ability to fetch a box from Vagrant Cloud. Now in the tutorial series that in the longer video that I created, there is the assumption that you already have the box, but I actually use a terminal command that will fetch the box for you if that isn't the case. But here's how you get them. You can also immediately deploy the machine So let's just say discover boxes here. I got the chef, right? And then I want one for VirtualBox. Let's see which ones are most downloaded. Like these are the basic ones. But we got Ubuntu 14.04, right? 64-bit install. If you do Vagrant init, it will immediately run that machine and set it up as a box, but also set it up in the directory that you're working in. If we use Vagrant Box add, it's just going to add it to the set of boxes that are available to me. So I'm going to skip the downloading process, and then we'll head over and to check if our Vagrant box is actually added to the list. Alright, process is almost over, and our progress is now reaching 100%, at which point our box has been added. Yay! Alright, this is cool. Now, to check if it is actually in there, just do Vagrant Box List, and then you get a list of boxes, and it'll just tell me that our chef box is here. So now to deploy it, I can head to a directory. So I'm gonna just do the same thing as I did in my other video. If you are not familiar with this, we're gonna make a directory Vagrant. We're gonna head over to that directory. We're gonna make a new directory Ubuntu, and then we're gonna head over to that directory, and at this point I can do Vagrant init, and then I just use the name of my box that I just downloaded. Now the cool thing about boxes is if I destroy it, which I can do at any point, I don't need to re-download anything because it remains in the list of boxes. So I can make a clean install of my VM again, or if I want to have 10 boxes of this Chef Ubuntu web server, or basic Ubuntu server installation, I can do that. As opposed to having one single machine that you have to redeploy. This is much easier. Okay, so now a Vagrant file has been placed in this specific directory. Again, if I ls, I can see this, and in this Vagrant file I can change things, but all I need to do is now Vagrant up to start the machine up, and then it's going to do the importing of the box and stuff like you are familiar with, or like maybe you don't know about this. Alright, it's just going to do everything and set it up. Now, depending on the speed of your computer and if you have a SSD or a hard disk, this may vary. I have a pretty fast computer. Alright, and then we need to Vagrant SSH to get into our box, and here we should get, voila, we have access to our box now. And then you can just do the standard procedures. So this is how to set it up. You can exit, and then we are gone. Our connection is stopped, so our SSH is over, our session is over, and now I can Vagrant halt to actually gracefully shut down our machine, because we don't want it to run all the time, and that's it. It works. Alright, so if you're interested in knowing how to set up more of this machine, so inside the session we want to get access to MySQL, Apache, then make sure to check out the longer tutorial. I also go over the concept of shared folders, which can also be really useful. Now, I might do a tutorial later on actually setting up your machine in a way that it actually does all the installations automatically. If you're interested in that, just let me know. Alright, thank you for watching, and good luck developing with Vagrant.